Black girl stops her millionaire, dad's wedding, and reveals shocking truth about the bride he calls. Before we dive in this story, hit the comments and tell us your city or country. Let's see how far this story reaches. If you like the video, please subscribe. The crowd gasped when 9-year-old Zaria walked up to the altar in her sparkly dress holding a small envelope. Her millionaire father was just seconds from saying "I do" to a woman half his age. But what Zaria noted next shattered the illusion, turning a fairy tale ceremony into a public scandal. The bride froze. The pastor hesitated. And Zaria's father dropped the ring. What could a little girl possibly say to stop $1 million wedding? What was in that envelope? Stay until the end. This one will leave your heart racing. Zaria had always been close to her dad, Malik, a self-made millionaire known for his real estate empire. After losing his wife years ago, Malik stayed focused on work and raising Zaria. But recently, he'd changed. Fancy clothes, flashy events, and a new fiancée, Amelia, a woman barely out of her 20s who seemed more interested in cameras than conversations. Zaria noticed the difference. Her dad laughed less, smiled less, and slowly, she felt him slipping away. So when she overheard something shocking the night before the wedding, she knew she couldn't stay silent. Malik had always taught her to stand up for what's right, even when it's hard. And now, the weight of the truth rested on a little girl's shoulders just hours before vows would be exchanged. Could she stop a mistake before it was too late? The guests arrived, dressed to impress. A string quartet played as photographers snapped away, capturing every glamorous moment. Amelia beamed in her designer gown, posing for the press. Malik stood confidently, waiting at the altar, but Zaria knew it was all wrong. That morning, she had slipped the envelope into her purse. Inside were screenshots, texts between Amelia and a mysterious man. "Once I marry him, we'll get access to everything," one message read. Zaria had found the unlocked phone on the vanity and followed her instincts. Now her tiny hands shook as she walked down the aisle, not with flowers, but with the truth. Whispers filled the room as she stepped forward. Amelia's smile faded. Malik's brow furrowed. Zaria spoke clearly. "Daddy, I need to tell you something." Silence. Then she handed him the envelope. For a moment, no one moved. Malik opened it, his eyes scanning the messages. His hands trembled. Amelia stepped back, trying to speak, but the crowd was already reacting. Gasps, phones raised, chairs scraping the floor. Malik looked at his daughter, then at the woman he almost married. What happened next would change everything. Malik's voice broke the silence. "Everyone, the wedding is canceled." A wave of confusion and gasps rippled across the room. Amelia's face turned pale as she tried to defend herself, but Malik had seen. "Enough. You used me. You used my daughter's trust." Security escorted Amelia out as murmurs turned into outrage. Zaria stood frozen, unsure if she did the right thing, until her father knelt beside her, tears in his eyes. "You saved me," he whispered. "You saved us." The crowd stood in stunned silence, witnessing a father-daughter bond triumph over betrayal. And as the bride's heels clicked out the door, Malik picked up his daughter and held her close. The wedding was off, but something far more critical had been restored. Malik never looked back. In the weeks that followed, he issued a public statement, exposing the attempted scheme and praising Zaria's courage. News outlets dubbed her the little girl who stopped $1 million wedding. But for Malik, it wasn't about headlines. It was about listening to the one voice that mattered. Zaria didn't just stop a wedding. She reminded her father who he was. Sometimes the truth doesn't come from boardrooms or contracts. It comes from the innocent heart of a child. What would you do if the world applauded your downfall, but your child saw through it all? Let us know where you're watching from, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more powerful stories that matter. Take care.